What a time to be alive. The Seattle Seahawks are 5-2 after a big win yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. Need you to spam W in the chat as your Seattle Seahawks expected to be buyers at the trade deadline. We have the latest Seattle Seahawks trade rumors right now here on Seahawks Today. The trade deadline coming up in just 24 hours from right now. And according to multiple reports, the Seahawks are actively shopping, looking to make a potential move before the deadline tomorrow. More from Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated's Monday Morning QB. Seattle's one final team I've had my eye on. They were open to dealing Darrell Taylor before Uchenna Nwosu was hurt, and have also been sniffing around on adding some depth on the edge. So I expect the Seahawks will be active over the phone the next 4 days. And that was a couple days ago. So fast forward to Monday. Here we are. Here we go. In the words of Mike Goldberg, former UFC announcer, let's get after it. I want to see something happen. I'm sure you feel the same way. And there's more to it. Now we're starting to connect all the dots, right? Cam Marino, NFL Insider, had to say two defensive line nuggets as we near the NFL trade deadline. The Ravens are a team to watch as a trade partner for Montez Sweat. The Seahawks have been connected to Carl Lawson. Jets definitely trading for him. Now we're talking, folks. Carl Lawson, you have my full attention, folks. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Carl Lawson. We'll show you some statistics and how he compares to the rest of the Seahawks defense in just a moment. Before we do, our pinned comment today, what do you think? Carl Lawson, should the Seahawks trade for him or not? Y for yes, N for no. Our pinned comment today. Let me know in the comment section what you think. So, the background on Carl Lawson. Joined the Jets in 2021, previously played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And one of the themes that we've seen throughout his career is consistency. He's had at least 4 seasons with 5 sacks. And now we fast forward to 2023, and he's not happy with his situation. He has made that known that he has not liked the way that he's being utilized in this Jets defense. Basically, not utilized at all at this point in time. Kind of forgotten about. And although he was going to make a lot of money this year based on the way that his contract has already been paid out and the dead money and all that, if he were to be moved before tomorrow's deadline, you're looking around $3 million is all the team that would trade for him would have to take on potentially. And the Seahawks have about $7 million of cap space, so they could easily do this if they wanted to. The numbers from Carl Lawson. Last year was a very good season. 7 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 9 tackles for loss, 33 tackles. This year, he's barely seen the field at all. And you look back at what he did in 2022, coming off that Achilles injury, was terrific. For him to take that step in that right direction was solid, to say the least. And with his situation of being a little bit older now and wanting out, and the Jets not necessarily having a place for him in what they're wanting to do, the cost isn't going to be too high. Not just when we talk dollars and cents, but what it would take to make a trade. My trade idea, as I scoured around and looked at the values for Carl Lawson compared to other players in his position, not a ton. Just a 6th-round pick, and Carl Lawson is yours. He's going to be dealt in a 6th-round pick. I think you're feeling really good about yourselves. If you can pull this off, just giving up a 6th-round pick, I like it. Now, are the Seahawks going to make a move? We hear the rumblings. They're picking up the phone. They're calling. They're working. But are they actually going to do something by tomorrow's deadline? What do you guys think? Weigh in that comment section. T for trade, P for pass. Will the Seahawks make a trade at the deadline or not? Want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Prize Picks is the sponsor of today's episode of Seahawks Today. And I got to tell you, Prize Picks is awesome. It's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You pick 2 or more players, and you're given a choice of more or less on any given number that's associated with said players. Could be anything from pass completions to rushing yards, receiving yards, a number of things. Monday Night Football tonight. Chance to play along with me on Prize Picks. Here's what I'm rolling with. I got Jared Goff to have more than 23.5 pass completions against that Raiders defense. Josh Jacobs, I'm looking at him having less than 62.5 rushing yards. He's only hit that number twice so far this season. You want to play Prize Picks with me? You can do so at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Play along with Prize Picks. You'll be glad you did. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Hasn't the Seahawks pass rush played a lot better the last few weeks? And the answer to that question would be yes. But even with where the Seahawks are at of losing Uchenna Nwosu and bringing in Frank Clark and all that, at the end of the day, you can't have too many pass rushers. And the Seahawks are about to enter a portion of the season where they're about to really be tested here. If you thought the first half of the season, where the Seahawks went 5-2 and won some really close games, was tough, now it's about to really crank up a notch here. You look at the sack leaders for this Seahawks team. Boye Maffe's had 5 straight games with a sack, leads the team in sacks with 5. Jaron Reed's got 4. Jordan Brooks got 3.5. Darrell Taylor's got 2.5. Carl Lawson, if he got in the rotation, I think would be right up there among these Seahawks pass rushers, even just as a rotational piece. You would see him have an impact as far as I'm concerned. And the schedule coming up, here's what I mean as far as really being tested and need to go guns a-blazing to have multiple pass rushers to attack your opposing teams. You play a really good Baltimore team this week. The Commanders, Sam Howell can go off at any time. That's not a given that you're going to win that game the following week. We already saw what happened against the Rams week 1. You go on the road for that. You get the Niners on a short week on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys the week after that. And then it doesn't slow down from there. You get the Niners again, that time on the road, followed by the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles, who we know that they have a fierce front with what they bring to the table. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Arizona, you are going to need to put your best foot forward here these next few weeks in this home stretch. A guy like Carl Lawson gives you that opportunity to put that best foot forward against these teams that you're facing and really go after these quarterbacks and maximize on that pass rush. Carl Lawson could be that difference maker potentially. We're going to be live tomorrow here on Seahawks Today for live trade deadline coverage. It is going to be a heck of a time tomorrow. We'll get going about 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. And our next goal here on the channel, yesterday we surpassed 43,000 subscribers. Awesome that you guys, the 12s, delivered, making that milestone happen. Now we're going for 43.5 thousand subscribers. Why not us? Why not us, folks? Subscribe now. Join us tomorrow for trade deadline coverage and help us get to 43.5K subscribers here on the channel. Now, if I'm John Schneider, and if I was John Schneider, I'd be a whole lot richer. If I'm John Schneider and I'm going to bed tonight prior to trade deadline day, I don't want to be sitting here and saying to myself, I didn't do everything within my power to put together a championship caliber roster. Because here's the deal. We've heard from John Schneider and Pete Carroll say that they are in win now mode, right? That they are trying to put their best foot forward for competing at the highest level in 2023, and you're in first place in this division now. With that said, you got to be aggressive. It's put up or shut up time. The Seahawks, the sacks have been there the last few weeks. 21 in the last 4 games to be exact. But if you have another injury of some sorts, all of that can go away pretty quickly. And we've seen what this Seahawks team looks like when they don't have that effective pass rush. I don't want to go back to that. I want to keep on doing what we've seen the last few weeks, and I want to add and have strength to continue to keep on keeping on here in this final stretch. Who's the player the Seahawks should trade for at the trade deadline? If it's not Carl Lawson, who should it be? Weigh in that comment section. Drop a name that comes to mind that you would like to see the Seahawks make a move for, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Trade Deadline Day on Seahawks Today.